And Bill Behrens, you brought him up, and he's still doing stuff with wrestling these days, just as you
Hmm.
brought up.
Hmm.
How did you actually get into NWA, and what were your dealings with Bill Behrens? Like, was he your NWA Wildside? Was he your in? Did someone like put you guys together? Like, how did you connect? Do you remember?
My connection there was Shannon
All
Moore.
right,
Shannon Moore and Matt was my. I went up there with Matt one time, and I actually tagged with I want to say I was supposed to tag. They were going to bring me in as our Truth's tag team partner.
all right,
Because Chris Hemrick was his tag team partner at the time, and I think Chris Hemrick was getting signed, and so I was going to be our Truth's tag team partner. But I think our Truth started getting looks too, so he would never show up. You know what I mean?
hmm
At those times or whatever, and so they started doing that at this time. But it was before it was NWA Wildside. It was called NCW, and it had a different owner. But Matt, so I started going with the Ghetto Boys. I think it was there. It was a group of black wrestlers that had formed a faction, and basically what they did was they took the most of the time what they did was anytime there was a black wrestler, they just made them part of the Ghetto Boys or this faction, and so it was never the same people. But like they would be the tag team champions or whatever like that, and just whoever showed up that was black would be it. So like the first time I ever was booked with NCW in the NWA Wildside Arena, I was like NCW tag team champions.
representation sure has changed a little bit since
Yeah,
then.
yeah. But it was just the way they. That's just the way it was. Like I'm a ghetto. I think that was the name. It was like we're the Ghetto Boys. Or whatever. It was like whatever. And so I was like, okay, this is how this starts. And I didn't know. You don't know how deep it gets, but like, yeah, that was my first. And then Shannon Moore, and Shane Helm started going to NWA Wildside when it became NWA Wildside. And then it was also going to Burt Prentice in Tennessee um, to wrestle. And I was supposed to go when they went, and I broke my ankle.
Oh,
And I broke my ankle like the week before I was supposed to go with them. We were all supposed to show up at the same time, and they went, and I was out for like 3 months, or whatever. And by the time I was healed and ready to go, they were gone. Like, but so I came in with Laz with like the next group, or whatever, and then I was kind of with that group or whatever. But Shannon and they had already they were there and they got picked up and they were gone, and but I was on the shelf. And so sometimes I look back in there and be like, man, what would have happened if or where? But you never know. You know what I
yeah.
mean? I don't know where my head was or what would have happened. And you can't look back at it. What all you could do is go forward. And I look at my future now, and God has made my latter greater than my past, and so I can't complain.
What's interesting is looking at my notes. You like you said, you hurt your ankle. You were gone for several months. You came back in December of 2000, and you won the NWA Wildside Junior Heavyweight title right away. Like it might have been your
Yeah.
first show back. Did you like? Obviously, it's always an appreciation of your talent and everything like that. But did you see it as okay? They clearly have faith in me here. If they're giving me such a big opportunity right away, is that kind of what your mindset was for that, or were you just kind of like, okay, cool?
I want to find out where you're getting these notes from, bro. Because like you telling stuff and you're telling the truth. That I don't even realize. It's somebody. I don't want to change the subject, but like somebody was telling me the truth Sunday. I was at a show DPW, and after he told me, it like brought tears to my eyes because he was telling me stuff I never realized until he told me. But yeah, uh, I don't know. It was just a big deal to me. I think before I left, they were taking me serious. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And then when I came back, it just showed me how serious they were taking me. Because like AJ Styles, JC Daz, and all this was there, and even AJ Styles was giving me opportunities. I started working for this place called Christian Wrestling Federation, and because of AJ Styles' faith in me, the first time I ever got on an airplane was because of AJ Styles speaking up for me. Um, and for the Christian wrestler, he was like, "Hey man, I got this guy here. He's a real Christian and he's a great wrestler.
Do you know where
You
this
should
was
bring
at?
him in." It's in Dallas, Texas. It's
Oh,
still
okay.
there. Christian Wrestling Federation. They're still going strong. But I started, wrestling with them, whatever, because of AJ Styles, and he was a great guy, man. And we both, have faith